Flexibility is very important, and do not use guidelines purely automatically. What to do here with white to move? Jon Alchin, Congress of the German Chess Federation, 1910. Especially how to use white's rook. White's rook should be flexible for the time being and just stay where it is, while the pawn must advance in any case. Is a guideline, past pawns should be pushed. f6 is the right move, and then only after rook f5, okay, black's rook belongs behind the passed pawn, only now rook f3, and then the game is drawn. Because now it is clear how to use white's rook, while after c3 the rook must be used in a different manner. This is the reason why the rook shouldn't move in the first place because it has many options, and here the game is our draw. Now white's rook has enough checking distance and nothing can be done. So this is not the moment to move the rook, and this is meaning of the guideline. First, move the pieces or pawns which you will always have to move in the direction. So here f6 must be played anyway, of course. In this race, the passed pawn must advance. While it is not clear how to use the rook, and it will be clear then now it's the right moment to use it behind the passed pawn, and now is the right moment to activate it. Yeah, and as Dr. Nunn has emphasized rightly in his excellent Nunn Chess Endings second volume, this is one major mistake which occurs very often in human games. The rook is put behind the passed pawn no matter if the position wants to see it or if it doesn't want to see it, just automatically using this good guideline. But even the best guidelines have exceptions, so never use guidelines purely automatically, and flexibility is often very important. This in some way is a better guideline than the guideline like always castle short or move the knights before the bishops or the rooks behind the pawns. The guideline is stay flexible, plays in one league higher and is often better. But of course no guideline, even that can replace concrete calculation. Okay, so rook f3 was a typical mistake, and now a fourth phase of the game arose, and there Alchin won, as the major guideline for the fourth phase of the game applies here. Now we have reached the fourth phase, and there the side which gives the first check wins, or which has the safer king, and here it's clear that this is no exception, black wins in all variations, so here the guideline applies. Okay, Jon could defend better, but he's lost in all variations. And he resigned as its made next move. So, in the fourth phase of the game, the side which gives the first check wins. This means, of course, the side with the safer king, but here both kings are open and unsafe, so white to move would also be winning. This would also be no exception to the guideline, but it is black to move. And stay flexible. The pieces which have don't move the pieces which have many options, like white's rook here. Move the pieces first which you will always have to move in a certain way, and here the passed pawn must always advance in this race, of course, while the rook can be used in different ways, and so it doesn't make sense to decide it for the rook in this moment. But of course, no guideline can replace concrete calculation, so it would even be better if you have already calculated here that f6 does draw, and then you can play it, of course.